our little one, they become big kids. So this will be a really great day for me and Natalie just to share some of our insight. We're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. We're still learning. We still let our kids eat fast food or whatever, but it's the foundation that we create where they know what healthy is, and then they can thrive in mind, body, and spirit as they get bigger. So we're super excited to share that with you today.
Oh my gosh. And I'm so happy you're doing this with me. And what I love about us is we're in such different stages of our motherhood. So she's got littles, I've got olders. And so we're going to talk about the things that we're doing for our kids. But I do have to say, like, setting that healthy foundation Shawna was talking about is so important, because now that my kids are older, they're like, Mom, thank God we never drank soda, or thank God you taught us to eat healthy, because we now have this healthy lifestyle, and we're looking around at our peers realizing maybe they didn't get the foundation that we got. And we're really grateful that that they're grateful now that I gave them that foundation. And I'm sure Shawna's children, as they grow up, will look back on these little seeds that she's planting and be really grateful that she did. So let's just move on. And this is our Naturally Simplify Motherhood. We're going to go through super simple ways to confidently nurture your child in body, mind, and spirit. And then, like we said, creating that healthy foundation. So we're going to talk about lots of things you can start incorporating today, right now, to get your kids set up for massive success with lots of health and happiness in the future. So let's see. Oh, let's introduce ourselves. So my name is Natalie Carson. I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate. You can see my kids are older now. I've been married to my husband, Brian, for 25 years. These are our 3 adult children. Our son is 22. Our other son is 20, and our daughter is 18. And I love that Shawna did this graphic and she said, Team Dr. Mom. Yes, that's what we're doing. So that is me, Natalie. I'm super passionate about health and wellness, only because I was faced with having parents that had a lot of dis-ease, which my mom passed from pancreatic cancer and my dad passed of heart disease. And so I took those tragic losses and really kind of flipped it around and looked at my own life and how I could live healthier, and in turn teach our kids how to live healthy as well.
That's awesome, Natalie. And we've been friends for a while now, like
Yeah.
over 6 years. So you've seen me become a mom, and so that's really been special. So my name is Shawna, and obviously I'm a mom and wellness enthusiast. And like Natalie, I too had a lot of family members that I witnessed with heart disease. I remember my grandma coming over for holiday, and she had a huge box of prescription medication. And it was always kind of the running joke that, my we were that's just it was funny, I guess, but it really wasn't. And I also had an aunt that passed away of cancer, breast cancer. And my dad also had a quadruple bypass when I was in 6th grade. So from a very young age, I realized that, I needed to take health in my own hands, and I didn't want to go down the path. So it was actually kind of an interesting pathway after I got married. I moved, and there was a lot of stress in my life, and I actually had just a very minor, like, or I was engaged and I had some sort of like minor infection, and had antibiotics, and I had the worst reaction to these antibiotics. And I'm like, this is not right. And funny enough, my husband's stepmom sent oils that Christmas,
Wow.
and so that was kind of my journey. That was over 10 years ago. So when we are sharing this information, it's not something you're going to change overnight. I've literally been on this journey for like 10 or 15 years of like trial and error, figuring it out, learning. So yeah, my daughters are almost 6. Mackenzie there is almost 6, and my daughter Madison is 4, and my husband and I have been married for almost 11 years. And he has really changed too over the course of our time together, with just his willingness to kind of change some lifestyle behavior. And so our kids are thriving. I actually had a home birth with my daughter, my second daughter. And so that's something near and dear to my heart is birth, you know, preconception, pregnancy, what we do to nourish our bodies when they're in our womb, and what we do after. So I've been kind of on a journey with them as well for the last 6 years, and Our children always are there to challenge us in new ways. So I'm super excited to share some cool stuff with everybody today.
Yeah, and I love that you said that your husband is kind of jumping in on board too, because we are, we are planting the seeds for our family. We are buying the food for our family. They're seeing us make these healthy changes and choices. So not only are we impacting our children, we're positively impacting our spouses as well. And my husband too. He's super healthy. He works out. And a lot of it's because of the lifestyle that I've implemented, and it does rub off on everyone. So if you have any skeptical hubbies out there or children, just keep on being the example, and hopefully sooner or later they will follow your lead. All righty, let's jump on in. What's our vision today, Shawna?
Yeah. So when Natalie asked me or invited me on to, like, let's collaborate on this idea, and we're just kind of talking about the vision, and it really came down to connecting our children to their inner wisdom, to God, of that ability to heal and have a health, have abundance of health, and how that will guide them for the lifetime, for their life, right? So that's really the vision today. I know I've just am speaking just only from experience and what I've journeyed through. And I love this quote, or not quote. I mean, it's from Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he will not depart from it. And I think that's really powerful because, as when we step into that role of mother, and we go in this journey of motherhood, we do have so much influence. And that's not to, stress us out, or shame anybody on. Trust me, I'm no saint over here. um, but we do have this influence over this life, and it is a tremendous gift that God has given us, and a responsibility. And we I mean, all of us want the best for our children. So when we start to focus on that vision, we're able to then implement and change, and help them along their journey.
Absolutely. I love that. I love the Proverbs too. All right. So what's the foundation of health? We're just going to give you a couple like tips here, things to chew on. It's like, what's the foundation of health and how can we enhance it naturally?
Yeah, so health and well-being is such a broad spectrum. I mean, we're part of nature. The human body is a part of nature. We're part of all that there is, right? So there's always this delicate interplay between, nutrition and your hormones and all of these different things. So where we kind of boiled it down, like the four major levels, I would say, is your immune function, right? We were confronted with that the last couple of years. um how does my how am I being protected? How is my immune system functioning right now? And is it running optimally to kind of deal with what was happening? And so we really started to look into what is the immune system, and it is a very delicate interplay between all of the bodily systems. So immune function, when that's working properly, your body's able to fight off disease and viruses naturally, and we don't need anything outside of what God has given us to do that. The next layer would be our sleep. Sleep is where we restore our body, where our children their brains are growing and developing in so many different facets, that making sure that we are in a very, having that quality sleep, especially certain times of the day. So I think it was about 10 p.m. at night to about 2 in the morning is where our body really restores itself and rejuvenates. So making sure that we're in a deep sleep, which is not always easy, especially when you have a newborn or kids who are still waking up at night, but we're doing our best here. That's another layer that also affects immune function as well. We also have emotional well-being, right? So that affects all of us, your emotions, your stress, your environment, making sure that is, we're always trying to find homeostasis, right? We're always trying to find that level of even keel. And then last but not least, but I think it's the most important one, is whole food nutrition, right? Making sure that we're feeding our bodies, because we are what we eat. We are just chatting about that new. I was watching yesterday the new Netflix docu-series on these twins that are going through this whole 8-week program about figuring out what is the right diet, and how we're not we don't need to be in our minds, well, it's not just genetic. I'm just going to have that happen to me because of that's just what happened to everybody in my family. Like we have the power by what we put in our mouth to change the genetic expression and thrive and not succumb to certain diseases and ultimately be like my grandma on pharmaceuticals with.
Absolutely. And food is so, so powerful. So we're going to give you some simple ways you can incorporate healthier choices into your food. So three pillars, of course, whole food nutrition, which Shawna really talked about, which we're going to dive into today. We're going to talk about essential oils. And the reason why is because essential oils is God's medicine. They've been around since the beginning of time. They've been mentioned in the Bible over 300 times. And a lot of the parts of the Bible are talking about like use the gifts I've given you, like these plants, these herbs, they're here for you. And that's why we've really turned to essential oils and of course, high quality supplements. There's the crap supplements they sell a lot of those at Costco. I'm not going to call it any brand, but it's really important that you're consuming whole food supplements. So we're going to talk about all of that. So I think we're first jumping into essential oils, which I love this graphic you've created, Shawna. We're going to kind of talk about all of the above, right?
Yeah, so we're going to chat real quick. So essential oils came into my life kind of organically. Obviously I was looking for something not pharmaceutical because I'm very sensitive to that stuff, and I think we all are on some level. And so yeah, essential oils have been a big part of my toolkit. That's why we call ourselves Dr. Mom, because it's like in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., you're what are you going to do? You're going to reach for, something that can bring temporary relief. Or with essential oils, they're actually communicating with the cells and the whole body aspect. It's not just targeting the symptom, it's actually you're able to heal on all levels. So we're going to talk about how to use them for your immune function, how to safely use them. I think that's a really key point with essential oils and littles. I've used them on my babies all the way up to, now that they're bigger, they're 4 and almost 6. So we've used them when they're sick, when they have a cough, ear pain. We're going to talk about that, sleep, anytime there's some tummy troubles, and then also owies. We
Yes.
scrape something. So we're going to chat a little bit about kind of all of those different areas on how you can use oils.
Yeah, and I love that you talked about your journey with the oils too, because I was looking for something safe, effective, and natural. That's what I was looking for. And the three cool things about essential oils is they are safe. There's no side effects, there's no addictions, they do no harm to any of your organs, and they work on a cellular level. So when we're talking about essential oils here, and we're going to tell you how to use them as one of our tools. But whether you're smelling them or putting them on your skin, they're getting in your bloodstream and your blood is carrying them to every cell of your body, which is really, really powerful. So they're super effective and they're affordable. I mean, we're talking about we're going to talk about ear discomfort, try to be compliant here. But when my kids were little and they would have the ear issues, I would take them to the doctor. Copay was, anywhere from, $10 to $25. Then they would get a prescription for another 15 to 25 to $30. And then I would take them home and give them this antibiotic or whatever it was for their ear infection. And when it was all said and done, plus 4 hours of my life and a kid in a car seat to the doctor's office around other sick kids, I was like, okay, this is like $50 in 4 hours of my life versus less than $1 and staying at home. And
Yeah.
that's what we want to help you guys understand is that they are safe, effective, extremely affordable, and really convenient.
Yeah. Convenience is the key part. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll definitely share a few stories about how that has come into play over the last few years.
Awesome. All right. So real quick, the three ways to use essential oils is aromatically, topically, and internally. If you're looking at this webinar and you're like, yo, I want to get started with essential oils, reach out to either me or Shawna, and we can help you safely use them because as Shawna said earlier, safety is really, really important. Aromatically just means that you're breathing them from the bottle, rubbing your hands together, breathing them in, or putting them in a diffuser. And so aromatically is a quick way to shift mood and get up into your brain and affect how you think and feel. And then of course we have topically, and topically just means you're going to put them on. And we're going to talk about those in upcoming slides. We'll talk about where to put them. And then internally, you're not going to use any essential oils internally unless you talk to me or Shawna, because only some of them can be used internally, but 7 and under should not ingest essential oils at all. So if you're looking at this, you're never going to give your baby or your toddler essential oils internally. Aromatic and topically is going to get in just fine. Internally is going to be for older kids, which we'll talk about in a bit. And also on the side of the bottle, there's a little clue here. So if you see supplement facts, that means you can ingest it in very small amounts. If you don't see supplement facts, you can't. So some you can and some you can't, but the answers are on the bottle. And also there is a shelf life on the bottom of each of the bottles. So it recommends that you do not ingest anything past this shelf life, but there's a 5-year shelf life. So you should probably be using that bottle within 5 years. All right, let's just dive in. We're going to jump into this dilution. Shawna, you talked about safety. We have to dilute it for babies and children.
Yeah. So obviously when you have a newborn baby, their skin is very delicate. And so making sure that we're properly using the oils is very important. For babies, the number one, I guess, recommendation would 1 drop to 4 teaspoons of carrier oil. So carrier oil is something like jojoba oil, fractionated coconut oil, which means the fat has been taken out so it doesn't solidify, avocado oil, something like that, where the oil is being distributed along, on the skin, and it's not just concentrated in one area. So as they get bigger, that dilution rate goes down. So as they're into their toddler years, 1 drop of essential oil to either 1 teaspoon, or I would even say like a tablespoon, just to be on the safe side. And then with adults, you can do about 2.5 drops to about 1 teaspoon of carrier oil. What's really cool is go ahead.
Sometimes I put it straight on, but if you're interested in the oils, we'll kind of guide you in that. But they do make these roller bottles that are pre-diluted, which I really like.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got them. So it's nice that you can just roll them on. So you don't even have to really
Got
make
it.
these rollers. You can just buy them pre-made for you. So we just like to share that. What
Yes.
you
See, and I too, and Natalie, I think you've talked about it where, you test it out on like the bottom of the feet or somewhere less sensitive. Obviously, you're never going to put oils around the eyes, in the ear, in any sensitive area. You're always going to be using it for mainly babies, maybe on the bottoms of their feet or along their spine. And that's the same too with kids. So always test spot, the skin first. And if you see any sort of sensitivity, either maybe choose a different oil or maybe dilute more. So bottoms of the feet is always a good place to put those, because that's where the oil can get up into the body and start to kind of harmonize and help heal.
Yep, absolutely. So I have to kick it off with one of my favorite blends. And like I said, will help you through this, but immune support is something we mentioned. Without your boosted immune system, you are maybe prone to getting sick. This flute, it's called the Immune Balm. You can get these oils and make it yourself by putting them in a little roller bottle. So you would fill that up, like Shawna said, with a fractionated coconut oil. And oops, Daisy, don't know
Which
what
I'm
happened there.
actually right here. You can get this on Amazon, or
Yes.
it's just, yeah, or even like a natural food store, Sprouts, those types of places.
Yeah,
They
and doTERRA sells it too. It's just in a smaller container, but I do like the pump that you can get. Just make sure it's a pure fractionated coconut oil. Anyway, these 5 oils, I'm not going to get into them too much, but they're a massive immune support. And so you can see this mama rolling it on this little girl's feet. So quick testimonial. I had a neighbor, she says to me, oh my gosh, he's at preschool. He's only 2.5 or 3, and he just gets sick like every week. He's coming home with a stiffly or snuffles and a stuffed nose and coughing, and I feel like I'm always taken to the pediatrician. And I said, okay, I'm dropping you off something. I made her an immune roller and I put it on her doorstep. I said, just put this on the bottoms of his feet every day, and she did that. And she comes back to me 6 months later. She goes like, this is a miracle. He's not been sick in 6 months. And it was just this simple act of putting these oils on the bottoms of the feet. These are all going to help support the immune system, kill off the bad guys, and just really keep you healthy. So I highly encourage this roller bottle. To make this roller bottle, but if you don't have all these oils, you could just use that middle one, the On Guard, because the On Guard is our protective blend. So it protects you against threats. Shawna has one in a roller there. You could just buy that On Guard roller if you want to start small. But this roller is for little ones all the way up to the elderly. So highly encourage. And then also hand sanitizing mist. This thing right here is amazing. It's just got the On Guard essential oil. It's got apple extract and a little bit of alcohol, and that is it. And it doesn't kill the beneficial bacteria on your hands. It just kills the bad guys. So if you want to support the immune system, this is the way to go. We have some other ideas as well, but we just wanted to kind of show them to you quickly. All right, Shawna, chest, breathing issues.
Yes. So obviously this time of year we've had a lot of that. So the chest is another area where we can open up those airways and give our little babies relief. So the recommended oils for the chest for babies and littles would be spearmint. So that's actually a really great way to open up the airways. So you can give them some relief, right? And what's really great about a lot of these oils is they actually work with the immune system. So not only are they opening up the airway, but they're actually helping kind of get rid of the mucus, get rid of some of that stuff that is causing all of that backup. Frankincense, I would suggest that one also comes in a roller. Frankincense is amazing for respiratory issues, and it's really gentle. So I think that's really key when you're trying to figure out which oils to use, especially on babies like under one. Gentler is always better, right? So maybe avoiding oils like peppermint, maybe some of the other ones that are a little bit more potent and astringent. But frankincense is really an amazing oil for respiratory health, but also the immune system. And then there's also a blend called Rescuer that has a little bit of everything. So anytime you see a name like that, Rescuer or On Guard, it means there's a blend of oils. So those are working synergistically to really pinpoint and get into that specific area. So my suggestion would be the frankincense. So the next one that Natalie was going to show is the ears, right? Ear pain. So this actually was my little one a couple weeks ago. She woke up in the middle of the night. We stayed out way too late the night before. It was snowing in Iowa, and we were just housebound for like a week. And we just did too much in one day. And she woke up in the middle of the night, just in a lot of pain. I finally got her to go to sleep. But basically, what I did is I had my On Guard roller, my lavender roller. I didn't have basil, and my tea tree roller. And I was every about half an hour or so, I would actually just roll it on the outside of her ear, the outside, and just massage down in a way to get that fluid or whatever was irritating her out of there. I had on hand garlic oil. So I actually put drops of garlic oil inside of her ear. And so she finally got to sleep. But what I did was I just really stayed consistent with the oils. Like every couple of hours, I would just have her lay on me and just massage the oils around. I took a little bit of tea tree, and while she was sleeping right here, because some kids are not always, she's a little challenging sometimes, and so you got to be strategic with her. So I finally got her. I was laying her on my chest and massaging her ear, and I got a little bit of tea tree on a cotton ball and just band-aided outside, and that was able to the aromatics of that oil and the healing properties of oil were able to get in. And what it's really doing is it's getting into to fight the bacteria, to soothe the ear, and to really help move all of that stuff that happens, especially this time of year when there's a lot of mucus and things building up in the ears. So I put some heating pads on her there, and she was fine the next day. She had no issues, and it was a miracle. So I was, at 3 in the morning, it was really helpful to have all that stuff on hand.
Absolutely. It's empowering, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
the next one is tummies, which obviously when you have babies transitioning from breast milk to foods, different you start baby led weaning and stuff like that, you might have digestion problems, gas. So one of my favorite ones for the girls and myself are is I actually use DigestZen on them now, and it's really nice because it's specific oils that are working for the digestive tract. So massaging on the abdomen and just doing a circular motion and just right around the belly button. You can massage the oil and just roll it right on, and just massage the little tummy. And a lot of times that those oils will penetrate into that area and just help kind of break up any discomfort or anything that they're having. Also, if as they get bigger, car rides, smelling like those different scents can help with nauseous feelings and things like that. So those two, the tamer one is the kids version of that. So again, doTERRA actually has the adult version or the bigger kid version, which is DigestZen, and then they have a little kid version, which is tamer. But anybody can really use them. They're just a different blend of oils that are a little bit more gentle.
And I love what you said about like rubbing their tummy. I remember somebody once saying a mother's love, like a mother's hands teamed up with these oils is a powerhouse. It's just like the love, just that physical touch and then applying the oils on top of it. It's just this like it's a very powerful healer, that's for sure.
I did want to mention too with Madison's ear thing, having and with tummy troubles too, having like a chiropractor on hand or somebody that works closely with you and your child is super beneficial because chiropractic care can really take care of a lot of these types of issues with ears, chronic ear infections, tummy issues, especially as they're developing. Having somebody that is on your team that can really support their bodies as they're growing and going through different stages is a great resource as well. So I took Madison to the chiropractor the next day, and she was a-okay.
That's so awesome. All right, sleep. Now, this is something that a lot of mamas struggle with, right? So I love that we have a couple natural solutions that are going to be really beneficial to help your kiddos sleep.
Yeah, so I actually got this when it came out because this is a new product. So Serenity has been around for, one of my favorite blends, especially to put in the diffuser. But they actually took that blend and put it into a stick. Again, super easy to apply, very soothing on the skin, and there's no yucky stuff in it, right? There's no toxins or anything like that. It's all natural. So this is a great way to really help your baby and your child kind of settle down for the night. Like my girls now, it's kind of like they have their own little way of doing it. They think it's fun, or I do little foot massages after their bath. And I make sure to rub it on their big toe. I really, when I'm massaging their feet at night with this, I rub the Serenity blend on the stick on the bottom of their feet, and I make it kind of like a fun thing for them. And the big toe is linked to your pituitary glands and all of the glandular system in your brain that helps relax, right? So especially if your kid has been at school all day, is kind of wound up, maybe too much screen time in the winter, like my kids, calming down for the night, it's a little bit challenging. But this is a great tool to have on hand to really help your child get into that deeper sleep.
Yeah, and you can use lavender, but this is a blend of lavender and friends. And I love that they've added valerian. So Valium is based off a chemical compound found in valerian root. And so doTERRA just took the actual valerian root and put it in because it helps our mind stop from spinning. So if you need help with sleep, this is a great place to start, but we can start here and then add on if you need even extra boosters. And I just wanted to share really quick this kids collection because there's an entire kids collection. So if you just want oils for your kid, everything that we pretty much just talked about, you can get the kids collection or single oils. And then this oil here next to it is kind of like Shawna said, the big kid oil or the adult oil comparative. You can use both. You can use either or. But we wanted to let you know there's just options for everything you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, I love the rollers because they're already pre-diluted, so you don't have to really think too hard. Especially when you have little kids, you really don't want to think. You want things as easy as possible.
Exactly. Yes.
So, and that's just life in general, but a lot of these you can use for yourself as well. I love the stronger, which is the kind of like the immune blend for the kids because it has the frankincense in it. So that you could even use, for chest issues, or coughing or whatever, like, things that come up.
Yep. So we just wanted to give you a little snapshot of how simple this actually could be. You would just let us know your top health concerns and we'll let you know what would be the best thing for you. All right, we're moving into tweens and teens. So I'm going to kind of give you some ideas on things that I've used for my tweens and teens that have been super effective. Of course, the three pillars of well-being for our teens are going to be helping balance their hormones because this is going to be something that there are a lot of hormonal changes, they're growing up and there's a lot of stuff going on. Of course, emotional well-being and nutrition. Nutrition sometimes goes by the wayside on teenagers, but if we give them that base of nutrition, they're going to be much, much better off. All right. So here's some of the essentials. And when I sent my son to college, literally this is not his hand, but it could have been because I sent him the things for vitamins. So doTERRA's got big people vitamins and little people vitamins, which we're going to talk about the little people vitamins in just a bit. But just a whole food multivitamin and omegas for brain development. And so you can set up your kid for success, teach them how to use this stuff, and then they can go to their own little nature's medicine cabinet and do really well at life. So I just wanted to give you a quick little snippet. So this is my daughter, Julia. You can see her with her frowny face. She hurt herself. She got a scrape. She fell down and hurt her knee. And so, of course, what did I do? I made the Owie blend. And so you can get a little 2-ounce spray bottle. You can do 2 ounces or 4 ounces. And I put 10 drops of each of these oils with some fractionated coconut oil in a spray bottle. Sprayed that. And what's nice is frankincense is amazing for cellular repair. Tea tree is going to kill all the germs, and lavender is going to soothe and nourish. So lavender kind of takes away the pain and helps heal. And then that tea tree kills all the bad guys. And like I said, frankincense helps repair. So I love that I have this these amazing oils on hand. Like Shawna said, at 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning with a kid's ear infection, we're armed with it. So as soon as that happened, we made this.
I
this
love how I love how they're just so versatile, you
so,
know.
they
Like,
really are.
yeah, it's just you can literally use frankincense for like a million different, like so many different things. Tea tree, lavender, like it's really amazing once you start to develop your skills and your knowledge. Like you'll be reaching for these things instead of all the other things that we used to reach for.
Yes, and it's going to save you a lot of money, and they don't expire for 5 years, which is great. So this is my son Eddie. Again, too much sun. So I was able to quickly make him. And by the way, I didn't have like this lotion here. I got the doTERRA lotion, and what I first did was put the lotion in my hand, and then I just added a drop of peppermint because that's cooling. I added a drop of lavender because again, that's going to take away the pain, and frankincense for cellular repair. And I just kind of like patted that lotion on his back because that's what I had. But then my aunt had this, I were on vacation at my aunt's house. And so she had this aloe vera gel. So I was able to not even make a roller. I literally just squirted the aloe vera gel in my hand and just a drop of each oil and just gently patted it on. So I carry these oils with me all the time in case this stuff happens. And guess what? The sunburn, it took away the pain, it cooled it. And by the next day, it already started turning into a tan and it didn't peel. So this stuff with you, if you would put it on right away, it really helps with soothing and it helps with healing. It's so much, so powerful. I wanted to jump in really quick to the emotional support. Now, once you get into oils, you might be like, I need to really, really help my kid focus. Like we've got simple oils for that, but this was a more advanced blend that I personally just made for my friend. And Shawna, I'm sure would do this too. Like sometimes people are like, I don't want to buy a whole kit of oils. Can you just make me a roller? And I will make a roller for a friend, drop it off and be like, can you let me know if this works? Because I want to be able to share testimonials with my friends. So I made this advanced blend and I have got to share with you this testimonial. This was from a mom. Her name is Jacqueline. And she sent me this text. She said, Natalie, he's never smiled like that. His soul is happy. You are an earth angel and have helped the most important blessing of my life. I will be your living, breathing testimonial. Truly, I want to just reach for this phone, hug you and cry my gratitude. You've given me, my son, a gift beyond miraculous. I put oils on his feet with his socks and shoes, and he scored all, that was supposed to be hundreds on his very important test. He went to sleep on his own last night, all miracles. And this was just because I gave her that Superman blend. You guys, these oils are powerful. He was having trouble focusing. He was really stressed out. He was having trouble sleeping. I'm like, let me give you this gift. And this is the testimonial I received. And this is just a little glimpse of what we get back from people. And so if you see a friend in need, or if you're a friend in need and you're watching this, we can help you with something natural. It's so powerful. God knew what he was doing when he gave us these plants, Shawna. Another thing, like I just had a friend reach out to me the day, said, my daughter's having trouble focusing. Now that other blend was just for me to show you a testimonial of what these oils can do. But let's get back to making it super simple. Emotional well-being, the power of adaptive. Now, adaptive is a calming blend. You can get these capsules, and this is just has herbs in it that helps the brain retain information and helps the brain focus. And then our adaptive blend has essential oils that kind of help that spinning of the brain and help calm. So our son, Eddie, this is literally Eddie. He was really having trouble focusing, and he was typing up a paper, and he's like, I can't do it. I feel like punching a hole in the wall. And now teenagers, right? He was a junior in high school at this time. And I was like, Eddie, this is what we're going to do. And I started rolling this adaptive roller on the back of his neck. I put the adaptive essential oil in a diffuser, and he took 2 of the supplements. I said, let's go downstairs, drink some water, take some deep breaths. You guys, I'm not kidding you. Within 10 minutes, he went back upstairs and he was typing. Now, he still struggles in school, which is fine, but it went from going crazy to him actually being able to focus and type. And then that diffuser was there, and he kept going over and like, and then he would type, and then he would go again, because it's getting up in his brain and affecting how he's processing. So I had to share this testimonial, because if you're like, the Superman blend's a little overwhelming, let's get you a bottle of adaptive. I have it on my desk right now, and get you the adaptive blend. And this is really, really powerful. And what you do with focus is you actually, and you can do this little kids too, you're going to put it on the back of the neck. I put it on the temples and across my forehead. And then even just like right down here where our pulse points are, where we can take our pulse, this is going to help get into the bloodstream. So I put it on my head. Oh, go ahead, Shawna.
This part right here on the side of your neck. So if you do have, kids that are kind of unable to focus or need to have a chill pill, rubbing that along this part of your neck, it stimulates the vagus nerve, which is the part of the body that helps regulate our nervous system. So this is really interacting too with the nervous system, which is another like 5-hour conversation about what affects the nervous system. And so this is a really powerful blend that, again, you could use for yourself as moms and all the things, but especially for the kids. So the vagus nerve right here, rubbing it along that part of your neck, is really powerful too.
Yeah. And even one time, one more with this adaptive, because I'm like, if somebody's got a kid that's stressed out, they can't sleep, like I just grab one of these.
Yeah.
We were at a restaurant and he was getting anxiety because he can pick up energy. And he's like, Mom, do you have any adaptive? And I'm like, I have it out in the car. And we walked out to the car, and he literally just
Smelled it. Yeah.
breaths, get up. We put it all over his neck, and he went back in within 10 minutes and was fine. So I can't share enough about that. All right, we're going to jump into nutrition, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, but really the majority of everything from our emotions to our immune system to our energy, it all starts internally. So we got to talk about the crap they're putting in our food, Shawna. I'm going to let you take on this, because was an eye opener when I learned about it years ago.
Fired up. So just as a preface here, this information was taken from Food Babe. Her name's Vani, and she has a pretty prominent social media following. But what she has done is she's broken down what is in our food, what's in the food we're being sold to, what our kids are eating, and it's not good. A lot of what we find in our processed foods nowadays is banned in most other countries. So your artificial dyes and things like that. So what we did was we just kind of took the major ones, and we just wanted not to scare anybody, right? My kid will still eat goldfish, right? But let's start to just become aware and empowered in what we're feeding our kids, so we're not turning on those different signals in our brain, so we're craving this stuff all the time. So this is some of the processed food and chemicals that are in our kids' food. And obviously you can see here we have enriched flour, cheddar cheese, which a lot of times this cheese is highly processed, and it comes from GMO feed, cows, so that whatever they're being fed is affecting what is put into our food and ultimately what we put in our body. But what I thought was really interesting is if we go down, if you see there that autolyzed yeast extract, whenever you see yeast or something like that, a lot of times that's a derivative of MSG. And MSG is a way to hijack our taste buds and turn on those signals in our brain. So we actually crave more of this junk food. So this is the type of stuff that's in our children's food, which is also processed with, the crops that they're using to create these products are sprayed and have tons of chemicals on it. So again, what are we telling ourselves? Everything you put into your mouth is a computer program basically. You're
Wow.
programming your DNA, your genetic output, your behavior, your minds, your how you're able to concentrate and focus. So to me, there has to be a better way, right? And trust me, my kids still go out to eat and have ice cream once in a while, but it's not our main focus. That's maybe 10% of the time, 5% of the time. The other part of it is making sure that we know what's in our food. So if you look down here, Pepperidge Farm actually has a disclaimer on the bottom of their bag there that says contains bioengineered food ingredients. And so whenever we see bioengineered food ingredients, that's a red flag, right? That's telling me that this probably really isn't real food and it's laced with all sorts of things. Unfortunately, there's a lot of right things where food companies don't actually have to put everything that's in their product. So it's just equipping ourselves with the information on how to read food labels. So that's kind of what we're going to go over now is some options. But I just want to let you know, like, just to give you a visual, even though it's like, oh, it's just once in a while I'm giving my kid this, it's like, okay, once in a while it kind of becomes a habit, right? So we're trying to get away from these habits of just kind of reaching for the easy thing, right?
And they make it all pretty with the princesses on it. Like, oh, the princesses eat this. I want to eat it. They're setting us up to get sick. And I know that sounds super dramatic, but it's like there's a lot of money to be made in people that are sick. And if we can keep our kids as healthy as humanly possible and not partake in this kind of stuff, it's going to set them up for so many more healthy years ahead for sure. So we've got some swaps, right, Shawna?
So obviously, I'm sure you still make, if you have kids at home, you're making sandwiches, right? A lot of these, we have to be aware of what's in our food. And so there's actually an ingredient called calcium perponate that is in just conventional
I
food.
think it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is actually a disruptor in our metabolism and our hormones, and it actually promotes weight gain. So we're actually ingesting something that our body doesn't recognize as real, and it's causing our us to actually gain weight and crave this type of stuff. So you can see some of the brands here that have this in it, and once we become aware of what's in our food, then we can make different choices. And so that's really what we're not trying to shame anybody if you're buying these products. It's just education. It's just we're all in it to win it. We're all in this together. We're all trying to figure this out. And the more information that we can gather and empower ourselves with, then we can start to change what's on our kids' plates and in their lunch boxes. And so this is on the, instead of, right, on the left-hand side, let's try the other brands. So Dave's Killer Bread is a great one. That I would recommend this red one over the green one that you see at Costco. The one at Costco, it has a lot of sugar. So sugar is another thing that we have to look at that is very much added into our kids' food, right? So we have Dave's Killer Bread. Looks like Mighty Manna. I haven't heard of that one, but our favorite is the Ezekiel bread. So Ezekiel bread is down at that right hand corner, and that is all sprouted. So anytime you see sprouted, that means that there's less process. There's less process that the wheat and the ingredients in that bread have to go through. So it's more in its whole food state. So you're getting more nutrition and there's less chemicals or less additives in that bread. Aldi, if you're on in my Midwest friends, Aldi has an amazing sprouted bread. So that's what we're going to start to shift our eyes. We're going to allow God to kind of shift our eyes to seeing what is a better option. I'm not going to get rid of my kids' peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but how can I maybe change some things around where they're getting optimal ingredients and nutrition in their diet.
And it's going to change their taste buds too.
Oh yeah, my daughter the other day, we went to a friend's house and she had whipped cream with fruit and whipped cream, and I just don't use whipped cream. It's just not in our house. And she's like, it was junk food. It was yucky. Like she didn't like it. And it's just when we start to introduce some of these different items, your kids don't want that stuff as much anymore. They want more of the healthier options. And again, this is all a process, but we are just trying to help our fellow moms out here. So obviously, fruit by the foot was a popular thing back in my day in lunch boxes. But you can see here on the left hand side, it's full of things: palm oil, carrageenan, citric acid, a lot of different things. Artificial colors are huge things we have to look at. Red 40 and blue 1. Those have been linked to behavior issues, ADHD, all sorts of different things like that. I don't know if I can
And
say.
cancer.
And can't, yeah, and that big C word. So again, what are we putting into our bodies? What are we feeding ourselves with? So therefore, we have options, right? We have so many great options now coming out. I love that there's so many new companies and products, and even you're even starting to see some mainstream companies start to shift away from artificial ingredients and artificial colors. So it's just teaching yourself and training yourself on how to read labels and then finding something that's similar, and finding that. So I haven't tried this. Have you tried this fruit jerk? I've seen it at the store before, this fruit jerky.
I haven't, but a lot of times people ask me like, Natalie, just what do I eat? Like, I don't know what to eat. I'm like, eat real food. If you look at
Yeah,
a label and it's got all these ingredients, it's not real food. And then you look at this, you're like, oh, organic mango. So if you can pronounce it and there's way less ingredients and it looks like it's real food, eat that. Super simple, right? Um, Here's some simple swaps for these Valentines we just had yesterday.
exactly. So I'm sure a lot of us, our kids went to school, had Valentine's, had a treat. We're not going to deprive our kids, right? I'm not going to say, no, you can never have chocolate or candy anymore. I mean, I tried that, didn't work out too well. So again, don't I kind of, there's a healthy balance in this journey, right? It's just educating yourself and finding swaps and trying them out and seeing what works and what doesn't work. But Yum Earth is a great brand. They have like Skittle type things. They have lollipops. They don't have any artificial ingredients. So you can kind of see these are some of the better for you options. Yeah, so that it's just looking at the label, and the main things, the main red flags are going to be dyes, oils, and anything that you can't pronounce.
Exactly. Oh, crackers. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say stay away from artificial dyes, artificial flavors, and anything you can't pronounce. Those are like if you can't pronounce it, you don't buy it.
Exactly. As easy as can be. And I'm telling you, instead of this, eat this. My favorite cracker in the whole wide world is the Simple Mills almond flour crackers on the right-hand side. They sell them at Costco in bulk. They're on sale a lot, and I literally stock up on them. They are always, always in my pantry. They're delicious.
Yeah. So there, you could see the options instead of this, right? So in the instead of column, why aren't we going to eat that? Well, obviously it's processed, highly inflammatory oils, right? Artificial flavors. It's, non-GMO or non-organic stuff, right? That means there's probably a lot of Roundup or glyphosate used on these crops, and it gets into these products. And glyphosate is a weed killer that they have to use on these crops. And so they can't get rid of that residue. And so as we're ingesting this on a daily basis, right, that's going to start to affect all sorts of different things, our metabolism, our hormones, even at a young age, our behavior, right? Because our cells in our body are not getting fed. They're not getting fed real food to thrive. So these, again, we love the Simple Mills brand. They have cookies, they have all sorts of different options. Flackers, the Hue brand, Mary's Gone Crackers. You can even find some of these brands at Walmart. So it's just having the eyes to see, and once we see it, then it becomes a lot easier.
Absolutely. All right. So these are two great people that we've learned a lot from. Flavecity.com. You can find him Bobby approved. He has a free app. And
Yeah.
I like it because he'll go through Costco and say what to get and what not to get. So if you're like, I don't even know where to start, how can I start learning what Natalie and Shawna know? Check out Bobby. And he's got Bobby Parrish, yeah. And he's got flavecity.com. And of course, Food Babe. She really, all those last slides were from Food Babe. Do you want to talk about her?
Yeah, so Vonnie's been around for a while. She has quite a platform, but she has gone up against, I think she had some sort of chronic illness or something, and then she started really diving into she was eating, and just started kind of uncovering all of the kind of the dark side of the food industry. Just seeing how there's loopholes, and how you can maybe not you can get away with putting some of the stuff in food. And so she's a really amazing resource, and has a lot of information. She has books and all sorts of things. And we love Bobby because every week he's putting on new shop along with me at Costco, Aldi, Trader Joe. Oh, he doesn't go to Trader Joe's anymore. They kicked him out. But um, he's always telling you, okay, what to look for, how to read labels, what's some better for you options. This is better, his saying. And I love his app. My girls use it. They're like, is it Bobby approved? And you can scan the food item and it's going to come up. Is it approved? Are these ingredients in your food approved? So he is all about, not depriving yourself, not having the fun in life, right? Because food is social, it's emotional, it's all of these things. And we don't want to scare our kids or any of that. We want to empower them with, okay, these we can still have fun. We can still have a cheese and cracker snack plate, but we're going to pick some different better ingredients. So the more we start to eliminate the burden on our body with all of these toxins, that's when our body can just naturally thrive and naturally regenerate itself. But when it's bogged down with all of this stuff, your body's working extra hard. And
Absolutely.
yeah, then you're not able to sleep right, you're getting sick all the time. So it's kind of like this whole spiral
It's
effect.
all connected. It's body, mind, spirit. It's all connected. I tell people too, we eat healthy junk food. So it's like, instead of eating these Cheetos, we would eat these Cheetos, so it's like those healthy swaps. So it's still junk, not junk, like junky fun food, but it's a healthier version of it.
I don't feel as bad after eating it.
Yeah. All right. Here is another person that Shawna just turned me on to today.
Yeah, so Dr. Palevsky, I found him a couple of years ago when I became a mom. If you go to he's actually a pediatrician in, I believe, upstate New York. So obviously, maybe not somebody we're going to talk to directly. But on his website, he has under the resource tab, there is so many resources under his website. He's been on a lot of podcasts. He is a pediatrician that really promotes chiropractic care, holistic, mind, body, spirit type of not as in the traditional sense where, kids are being prescribed antibiotics all the time and different things. He's really about what we've talked about, whole food nutrition, really getting to the source of issues. And so we can allow our children to thrive as God intended for them to do, right? And he's just been a really great, he has some really positive YouTube interviews and different things. So I just wanted to share that because he's been really helpful in my journey.
I can't wait to check him out or turn some other mamas on to him. Oh, I can't wait to hear about this. I've not done it yet, but I know you've got a really good deal on this.
Yeah, so I'm going to share with everybody today a really great promotion with Thrive Market. So Thrive Market is basically like a membership, like a Costco membership, but it's all healthy food, right? So it's all those healthy options we just talked about. So if you're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know where to find that stuff." You can actually go on Thrive Market and create it'll ask you some questions when you're getting started, like what do you want, what are your preferences, what are you looking for, and then once you're in there you can actually choose, like, what do I want to look for. I want to look for kids snacks, and you can find that and it will populate and it'll show you all of these really healthy great options, right? Those swaps that we're talking about, and it's delivered right to your door, so you don't have to like go out, and a lot of the prices are better than what you're going to find in the store. So it's a really great way to get started. It's a fun way, maybe pick some new things out and try it. I love the Thrive Market brand. They have a lot of organic options, pantry options, different things like that. So I just wanted to share that with everybody because that's been really helpful to find healthy snacks and different things without having to think too hard and drive anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to just fly through some of these slides because I know we could talk forever. I think we need to do like a 4-part series, to be honest with you, because we've got such valuable information to share with you guys. I love this slide. This is Shawna's adorable daughters. And tell them about this simple ice cream you made.
Yeah, so this is just, I have a Vitamix, so investing in good appliances and things like that are definitely worth it. So what I do at night is, obviously they're always hungry, right? Who has a kid that is always hungry? So I kind of made it a staple at night to make ice cream, right? So here we made banana mango ice cream. So literally it's just banana and mangoes. And I get these sugar cones and we put it on, and they can put toppings on. Sometimes we put chocolate chips and coconut and like oatmeal sprinkles. And they love it. They're eating ice cream. It's just not the traditional ice cream, from the store. So yeah, we like to make it fun. So I'll kind of show you as you flip through kind of some of the things that we've done. That juicing has been a big thing, getting the kids involved in juicing. They love to chop it up and put it in the juicer. And then tasting what they've made. Orange juice is a really popular one. Pineapple juice. Madison loves juice. There's her drinking her orange
A good
juice.
way to get that massive nutrition in their little bodies. But guess what? You're training their taste buds because guess what my kids like to do? They like to eat healthy. They go for the salads. They go for the juice bars. They go for the acai bowls. Like they lean towards it because this is what they're brought up with.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
I
just
love it.
making it fun and making it colorful. There was like a salad that I make, just finding the bag organic salads, finding the bag cabbage, things that are simple that literally I just take a handful and put it on my plate, handful of this and put it on my plate. Things that are really simple, and finding, salad dressings that are already pre-made. Like those are the things that I'm starting to look for to make my health journey easier on me, right? So that therefore it can be easy for our kids to see, and it's not super stressful. So there
And
are kind of like pre-packaged healthier options where you can kind of grab and go as well.
mhm. And I love it too because they're watching us. So what we do, they're going to do. They're just watching us. So as they see us eat healthy, they're going to want to eat healthy. And eating healthy is easy. It really is. I think a lot of people think it's like, oh, it's so difficult or time consuming or expensive. I'm like, okay, if you want to talk about expense, unfortunately, this is a sad but true story. My mom going through chemotherapy and surgeries and all the things the last 10 years of her life, it was over $3 million. And I'm
Wow.
pretty sure that eating healthy, and investing in natural solutions is going to be a lot less expensive. So it's like sometimes people say it's expensive to be healthy. And it's like, well, wait till you get sick and see how expensive that is. Because I tell you what, it's going to be a lot more expensive and a lot more difficult of a journey. So hopefully you've been inspired to change up some things today. All right. So, oh, we didn't talk about supplements yet. We're going to touch on this real quick. Whole food supplements. doTERRA's got amazing probiotics, amazing omega-3s that help support our healthy brain, immune, and joint functions. And of course, we need antioxidants. We need to protect our cellular DNA, and superfoods. So I love that we've got this great vitamins that support immunity, cognitive function, and they're from whole food sources. It's not fillers, it's not synthetically made. And then probiotics are really, really important for our gut health. Anytime, if your kid's ever been on antibiotics or eaten genetically modified foods, which who hasn't, probiotics, 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 probiotics. I can't say enough about it, right, Shawna?
Yeah, no, these vitamins are amazing. My kids love them, and it's an upgrade from the Flintstones that I used to eat, which are just full of junk and dyes and sugar. Sugar is a huge thing that they put in, especially kids' vitamins. Please avoid those gummies, anything that looks gimmicky. It's worth it to invest in these types of supplements because you're actually getting things that are nutritious and are going to talk to your cells. All of the dyes and all of the Flintstone stuff, the gimmicky stuff, it's not doing anything really.
Right, right. So I love that we have these amazing tools. And there's also a new probiotic. Mamas, if you're watching this, grandmas, whoever's watching this, you need probiotics as well. So they have upgraded the probiotics even more. So that other slide was our other probiotics, and this is the newer brand that actually just recently came out a few months ago. And they taste delicious. Okay, they're absolutely delicious. So for kids and for adults.
Put the probiotics in our smoothies. I put it in yogurt.
Ah.
I put it in all sorts of different, I make a drink mix. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get these probiotics. I try to get, especially when we're traveling like we are, I brought my probiotics with us. So I'm trying to make sure everybody stays regular and is pooping and doing all those things. Pooping regularly helps your mind, helps your hormones. There's so much to be said about the gut.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And two, these taste like pixie sticks. There's xylitol in them, so it actually helps. Oh, maybe it's monk fruit. I can't remember which one, but it helps make it taste so sweet, but there's no carbs. So sprinkling it over oatmeal would totally work. And this one is it's a strawberry melon flavor, and it's delicious. So definitely check it out. Did you want to say anything else, Shauna?
That was it.
All right, sweet. So, if you are looking at this, hopefully you're about to make changes in your diet. But if you want to get started with some essential oils, just because you're on this call, you get 25% off retail prices. So we can send you a link. I can send you a link, or Shawnee can send you a link so you can get that 25% off. If you wanted to create a little bundle, we could help you do that, and you'll get free shipping. And if you create a bigger bundle, you'll even get a free diffuser. So we can definitely help you get started with essential oils, natural solutions, and help you get empowered. We can create your own bundle, or you can buy a little bundle that's already done for you. So a lot of people like to start with this because it's super simple. You can read these words and you're like, yep, sleep, tension, immunity, fatigue. Yep, joints and muscles, pain. Okay, air. Yeah, I need that. And we can then tell you how to get this little pre-done kit. And the little kits are nice because they're just discounted even more. So you get your 25% off the kit, but it's even discounted more because it's in a little bundle. So this is a great one. And then also this is called a Healthy Start Kit. It comes with 5 milliliter essential oils. This is a great little starter. You can make that flu bomb that we talked about earlier. This is going to help with sleep, with growing pains, with tummy aches, with energy, all the things, digestion, everything we've talked about. So definitely let us know how we can help you. These little bundles are great because it's kind of like a no-brainer. But you can also get the rollers as well. So if you wanted to learn more about essential oils, you can follow. We love the brand doTERRA just because it is so pure and so potent, and the energy behind the company is through the roof. A lot of essential oils are toxic. A lot of essential oils are synthetic, but we love this brand because we trust it, and it is so strictly tested and comes from all over the country where the plants grow naturally, so it's not bombarded with chemicals, which is really important. So you guys can follow doTERRA on Facebook, on Instagram. There's free trainings you can do, which I think is really awesome. Maybe you just want to learn about Sleep, go do a free training on sleep and what oils you can use for that. And then there's also webinars that you can listen to as well. So we want to thank you so much for joining us. I know we gave you a lot of info. We thought we could pack it into a half hour, but it's been over an hour. I think, Shawna, we're going to do a 4-part series. We'll talk about that in a bit. Did you want to add anything, Shawna?
No, I just wanted to encourage wherever you're at on your journey, it's perfect. You know, that's I think the biggest thing that I've learned is you can't shame or blame or regret anything that you've done. It's just thank God that this came into your life. Like you're meant to be watching this. Um, so you can make those steps and have the support. I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, we've had to do a lot of things on our own, just kind of trial and error, but there is so much information out there now. There is a lot of information. It's kind of deciphering and discerning what's the next right step for me and my family. And I think starting simple with just swapping out, um, finding those different brands that are kind of the same thing, but are healthier options, whole food nutrition, and just finding different ways to naturally take care of our family. So you're not having to rely on somebody other than your, your home and your husband and yourself and your husband.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm loving this content. I'm loving this information. We have so much to share with you. My heart is bursting with gratitude that Shawna joined me on this because hopefully we've blessed you all in some way. And I love that Shawna said just have grace with the journey. You're right where you're supposed to be. And simple swaps. Start small. It can seem overwhelming to do it all at once, but start small. Start looking at ingredients. Maybe clean out your pantry. Start swapping out some natural solutions with maybe some over-the-counter things that are safer for your family. So start small. We're here to help you in any way. And with that, we'll see you on the next webinar. Thanks for joining us, guys. Bye-bye. Let me see how I can stop sharing from Facebook.